Are you feeling burnt out in the classroom and want to branch out to tutoring and have no idea how you are going to make ends meet? If so, this is the video for you. My name is Rebecca. I own a local tutoring company, but I've also done a lot of tutoring online as well. And I have a team of 20 plus teachers that I staff and get hours for. So this video is going to encompass not just like one-on-one tutoring, but also other profitable things you can do in regards to a tutoring business. And I will at the end elaborate a little bit on my experience and where I've had luck and where I'm looking to grow. So your first one is your kind of your basic thing is just one-on-one tutoring. If you really want to do online, there's some great online platforms to get started. If you just don't want to strike out on your own, and we are actively creating digital resources so that teachers have a better place to research and understand where they can tutor online. So your basic is kind of, you can make anywhere from $15 to even $40 an hour doing some basic either online tutoring or in-person tutoring. If you do in-person tutoring at like a big box center, you're going to probably make anywhere between 18 to 20 an hour. If you get tutoring and you're a teacher through the district, I know you can make at least your teacher hourly, which is decent. If you do like VIP Kid, YZan, most of those teachers are averaging anywhere between $20 to $25 an hour. So it's something, it's not amazing, but it can help fill in the goals. Another way is to step up your tutoring, as in you're not just doing regular entry level stuff, and this is where my sweet spot is doing high level stuff, which is like AP classes, test prep, and college admissions if you have some experience in that end. So test prep, you can easily start by charging $50 an hour, but most people are charging upwards of $100 plus an hour for SAT and ACT prep. It is hard work. But honestly, I absolutely love the SAT and ACT prep. Some of the other things that we are looking to start in my company is adding on college consulting and counseling. Those rates typically start between $100 to $300 an hour. They're very profitable. That is a very niche skill set. I am looking to, and I'm working on hiring ladies that are trained in that area, because personally I am not, but I do know some people who have, through their educational history, learned the ropes on how to do college and career counseling. So another way that you may have not thought of how to make some extra income as a tutor is just making digital products. Or maybe you have thought of, because you see all these people and teachers pay teachers. If you use Canva and AI and FunHack, Canva is now embedded into ChatGPT, which I am pumped about. But that being said, you can crank out some products on Teachers Pay Teachers and make some income there. There's also you can make your own website and crank out teacher products. Just make sure you're watching copyright. And you can do all digital downloads. In that regard, we are working on that aspect as well. Another thing that you can do that is a big hit in a local area, or you can do it via Zoom, is holding workshops. So for me, my specialty is doing SAT and ACT workshops. That is a really good way to move the bar, get your name out there, which is one of my favorite things about it, but also teach a bunch of kids in a more affordable way for families. So you can do workshops on SAT and ACT. We currently have classes for homeschool art in my facility, but what we're also going to be adding is resume building workshops and other things that kids actively need and parents are interested in paying for, but can also move that financial bar because you charge per head. For us, we either do it at our center, but we also, early on, I started renting out space at a church that charges really low, so the profit line is really big as long as you're paying for printed resources. The last thing, and then I'll go into this a little bit more in detail, is that you can hire tutors under you. So for me, my sweet spot is a little bit in the high schoolers, some of the middle schoolers. I do some elementary schoolers, but I feel sometimes more comfortable in the older kids. So what I did pretty early on is I got myself a crazy wait list, because while I was launching a tutoring business with 3 kids under the age of 5, which is crazy, what I did is I started onboarding teachers that were extremely qualified in especially areas that I was not as good at. For example, one of my early teachers is outstanding, and she's a certified Orton Gillingham educator, cranks through reading, and is also a long like term licensed special education teacher. So I hired her, and actually ironically her husband, pretty early on, and I started giving some of the clients that I didn't feel as strong in to her for a payout portion. I approached this in one of my mistakes that I made early on in my first year of business, and I'm about to close out my first year of business, is my target ratio is I would take a 40% commission cut per rate for the teacher. So you're paying them 60% and then you're getting 40%. Within that 40%, you were factoring credit card and transaction fees, processing, advertising, and all that stuff. But if you have good word of mouth and you're getting maxed, onboarding a teacher buddy is a really good option. And then I will go into later, there's really good strategic ways to do that as well, because yes, you are taking a cut, and I'm very transparent with my teachers. They know I'm taking a cut, is because if you have staff, it does cost time and it does cost money. So my favorite things to do is, if I was in your shoes, like trying to leave the classroom or just trying to go out on my own, is outside of just doing some basic tutoring and even getting on some platforms that's going to train me how to do test prep better and still pay me, is I would start pretty early on the workshops. One of my favorite things that I did is, and I have a great relationship with them now, is I hosted a free ACT class at the library close by me. And that was great because, yes, I didn't make any money off that, but I gained a lot of clients. I got footage, I got free marketing from the library. But once I did that, I started launching classes and workshops at a church. And from that traction, I got to pretty much do like a test prep series. And I still do those to this day. Almost every single ACT and SAT test, me and one of my teachers are tag teaming those classes. So that's one of my favorite ways outside of basic tutoring. And then my second favorite way is going to be onboarding teachers. Like I said, I have 20 plus. I'm working on getting them all hours, but most of them are pretty dang busy, which is really exciting. The things that I'm working on growing is I'm working on doing more digital resources. This is an area that's a little untapped for me, but I've been slowly making my own test prep resources is where I'm starting with, but I would love to tag with my team on making more digital materials, especially in regards to reading. If you see any of the examples behind me, these are from Teachers Pay Teachers, but I have some brilliant brains on my team that I know could create something new, and they're constantly editing. So it'd be really fun to be able to create some digital downloads and resources to sell online. Well, thank you for staying along in this video. I hope you learned something. Please like and subscribe to learn more how to launch a tutoring business, or just for interest in a business in general that is service facing.